Hello everyone, I'm Kuma, and today we're making a bear-shaped vending machine. Welcome to a new series on this channel where we're making things themed after various VTubers, and I figured I might as well start with myself. But yeah, I thought making a vending machine would be fun. As you can see in the blueprint, we're going to make the globe part of the machine look like the bear's head, and the capsules will exit through the stomach. I've also added a large pipe to the side of the machine that was originally going to have the capsules going through it, but then I realized that would be too difficult and I'd have to make the machine like a lot bigger than I actually wanted to, so now it's just kind of there for aesthetic purposes. I also added a large valve to the side that acts as a handle for the machine. The reason why I did this is because I wanted to give the machine a diesel-punkish or steampunkish vibe. I feel like it kind of matches the aesthetic of my plane if you've ever seen the concept art of that. I think it looks cool and I feel like it makes sense for the things adventurers use during their travels to look kinda beat up. For the lettering on my machine, I decided to use the alphabet I created for my logo to really help fit the machine into my world. My alphabet is largely inspired by Splatoon. I like how they made the alphabet look like a foreign language, but it's also still readable in English. I also try to make my decals look like something you might see in a factory or in a military vehicle. My character lives on the plane, so I felt like this kind of imagery made sense. And because nothing in the real world is sacred, I also designed some stickers and graffiti to put on the machine later. I feel like this will really help the machine look like it's actually been used. As you can see, I'm kind of copying Splatoon again in the way they treat their fictional companies. I like how they made a whole bunch of fake fish companies for their stickers in the game, so I decided to make a bunch of bear-related stickers for my machine. And with the blueprints done, I move on to modeling everything in Fusion 360. Now, I don't have any footage of this happening because I took way too long since I'm a beginner at this, and even when I speed up the video, it's still too long, and you can only go so far before DaVinci Resolve breaks, so I had to cut it out of this video, but you're just gonna have to believe me that I modeled this thing. But yeah, I've only ever modeled anything like twice before this project, so this whole thing's gonna be a learning experience for the both of us. And as you can see here, it's also my first time ever making a gear. I decided to go with the peg gear for this design because they were the easiest ones for me to understand, and unfortunately I don't have enough engineering knowledge to make the coin slot functional, so putting in the coin doesn't really do anything. But the capsule will fall through the hole when you turn the handle, and I feel like that's pretty good for a beginner. And with all the modeling done, it's time to move on to 3D printing. I used an Ender 3 V2 for most of the project, and then I switched to an FLSUN Super Racer halfway through. There are about 40 pieces or more in this machine because I had to split everything into smaller bits to fit on the print bed, and each piece takes about 12 hours more or less to print, so this took about forever to get done. But once that's done, I can move on to gluing and sanding. I'm just putting all the pieces I split apart back together with some Gorilla Epoxy glue. I'm also sanding away any layer lines that were made during printing. This will make it look like each piece is a smooth, solid piece of plastic. I find it works best to start sanding with the metal file and then move on to sandpaper ranging from 80 grit to 1000. I also use wood filler and Bondo to cover up any large seams or other places that I had a hard time sanding. Once that's done, I take everything outside to spray it with some filler primer. This helps prep the surface for painting and also helps highlight any pieces that might need additional sanding or filling. Once I'm satisfied with the finish, I can move on to painting. For the color scheme of this machine, I decided to go with the colors of my outfit. I start by spraying all the pieces with silver spray paint to represent the white of my outfit. I also use this color to help make the machine look more metal than plastic. After that's dry, I prep the machine for the green paint by using masking tape, paper, and liquid painter's tape to cover up any parts I don't want painted. The painter's tape will help it make it look like the paint is peeling off in some areas of the machine, which will really help give it the beat up look I was going for. I repeat this process for the black paint. With the main colors on the machine done, I move on to adding the decals. For this I created some stencils in Procreate and then I exported them to my Cricut machine. The decals were cut out on this special stencil tape that's just a little bit sticky so it stays in place but also removes easily. This helps keep the spray paint from getting underneath the stencil. I also use transfer tape to help place the decal on the machine so that any little free-floating details like the letters stay in place. After all the paint is applied, I peel off the tape and paper, and then I spray it with some clear glossy varnish to seal the paint job. After that, I start to assemble the machine. First I add the panda logo decals to the front and top of the machine. Then I glue the front plate, capsule catcher, pipes, and coin slot to the main body. I also glue the valve handles to the rod that will run through the body of the machine. After that, I glue the ears and the mouth to an acrylic lamppost globe that will be acting as the head. With that all done, I figured now would be a good time to see if the machine actually works. Now you may be wondering why I didn't do this sooner. Well, I forgot. So while testing the gears, I discovered that they totally do not work. The first rendition of the gear I made, I forgot to put anything for the top mechanism to attach to, so whoops. And then my second version of the gears fit too tight and they ended up snapping apart. But the third gear I made actually worked. Next time I'll try to test out my mechanism sooner. After the gears are done, I print and paint the coins that will be going inside the machine. The paint job came out a bit sloppier than I intended, to be honest, but that's because I started cutting corners because I kind of wanted to be done with the project, and these coins were more of like an extra bonus anyway, so oh well, they still look cool though. But with that done, the machine is practically done. It looks like it came fresh out of the factory. However, I want this machine to look a bit more used, so now it's time for some weathering and graffiti. To start off, I cover the machine in tape. I add tape to the valve on the side to be used as a grip for people to hold on to while they're turning the valve. I also add some tape to other parts of the machine to look like it's kind of been lazily repaired. With the tape in place, I test out some stickers I made on my Cricut machine. This is just to get an idea of where they might go. Then I start weathering. To do this, I use a mix of acrylic paint and mostly water. I then cover the entire machine in paint and then wipe it off. This helps it look like the dirt has accumulated on the machine over time. I do this repeatedly until I'm satisfied. After that's done, I add graffiti and stickers all over the machine. However, I did end up rearranging a lot of the stickers off screen. Because of this, some of the stickers are peeling a little, but I feel like it makes the stickers look a little old, so I don't know, I kinda like it. And after all that, the Capsule Kuma machine is finally done. So I hope you like my project. I'm really excited to start this series and I hope you are too. This video is essentially a test run for this series, and it's the first time I ever tried to make a video like this, so bear with me while I try to figure things out. And then let me know if you want me to go into more detail on my process. I've never done this before, so I'm not really sure what to talk about. With that said, be prepared for these videos to change a little bit over time while I try to figure out what it is I'm doing. Now hopefully I can do at least one of these projects a month. I know that might not seem like a lot, but it takes a lot of time to do the research, design, and like actually create these things, and like even more time to record and edit the videos, so yeah. Hopefully I can do one of these a month. We'll see what happens. Now I'm probably going to keep all the objects I make for this series on the small side. Originally I was going to make them small enough to fit inside the machine, but even though I picked the biggest toy capsules I could find, they might still be a little bit small, so I don't know if that's going to work out. But, oh well, I already have a ton of ideas for things we could make. I'm hoping to do projects based on a good variety of VTubers ranging from like corporate to indie, so if you have any favorite VTubers, please let me know about them in the comments. Like, tell me about their lore or anything about them that you think is special or something I need to know. I want to start creating a little VTuber database for me to pull from, so I know that I'm making stuff on people that you guys are interested in, you know. I do need some help with one of the projects I have in mind. I'm gonna do a project that has to do with music eventually, and I'm not sure who to frame the project around, so if you know any VTubers that you strongly associate with music, please let me know about them in the comments below. And with that, I hope you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one. This is Kuma, over and out.